The vanishing of Stephanie Damron. 13-year-old girl walks into the woods and she just vanishes. No trace, no clear answers, just questions. So many questions. Tonight, we dissect the disappearance of Stephanie Damron, the conflicting reports, the chilling silence that followed. I'm Carrie Drobin, and this is Crime Bites. So, New Sweden, Maine. A small, quiet town where everybody knows everybody. It's the kind of place where children play freely, doors remain unlocked, but that sense of security was shattered the day Stephanie Damron disappeared. She was last seen by her grandfather stepping into the dense, looming woods just behind their house. Was she going for a walk? Not likely. Did she have a meeting planned? Did she intend to return? We don't know, and that's the problem. Why are the accounts of her last moments so conflicting? What time was she last seen? Who else might have been watching? And why does no one seem to remember precisely when she vanished? Here's something that chills me. No immediate search parties were organized by the family. Why? Well, why do you think? Why would a family living in isolation delay the call for help? Right? Why wouldn't they call 911 and say, hey, our daughter's missing, and we just noticed? We just noticed? That's not how a parent reacts when a 13-year-old disappears, right? Sorry. To get a better picture, let's talk about Stephanie's home life. So the Damrons lived completely off the grid, a yurt in the woods, right? No electricity, no plumbing, no running water, 4 children still at home, 2 already gone, extreme isolation. No modern conveniences. Any power they did use came from generators. This is the kind of lifestyle where people don't trust the government. They don't want outside interference. When kids in these environments get desperate, sometimes they run. Because let me tell you something. I remember every single detail about the last time I saw a loved one alive. Right? The time, the clothes, the car they drove. It would be etched in your mind forever. So why is there a confusion about what happened to Stephanie? It took over 24 hours before any real search began. And even then, the scale was nowhere near what it should have been. Right? The woods behind her home were thick, unforgiving. It was a vast maze of trees and undergrowth. Search teams scoured every inch. Drones flew overhead. Bloodhounds picked up her scent, and then volunteers called her name through the dense fog. But the deeper they went, the more unsettling it became, and there were no signs of a struggle. No footprints leading away from the area. No torn clothing caught on branches. No discarded belongings. It was as if the woods had swallowed her whole. Then, a discovery. A small, muddy footprint half a mile from where she was last seen. Too small to be an adult's. But was it hers? And if it was, how did she get there so quickly? Was she running? Was she being chased? We learned from her father that it was not Stephanie's phone that called 911. It was her grandfather's phone. An old, simple flip phone. The family didn't even know that it could connect to the internet. Come to find out, this cheap $20 flip phone was in the house that she ended up in. So in every missing person's case, there are patterns, right? There are suspects. So let's break it down. There's the grandfather, the last person to see Stephanie alive. His story has gaps. The time, the sequence of events, why hasn't he been more forthcoming? Could an argument have turned deadly? What about the stranger in the woods? Reports suggest there was an unfamiliar vehicle. It had last been seen driving along isolated back roads near Stephanie's home in the weeks before she vanished. Was it a drifter? A hunter? Who wasn't there to hunt animals? Maybe it was someone she knew. Most abductions, especially in small towns, aren't random. They come from people the victim knows. Maybe a neighbor, a friend of the family, someone who had been watching, waiting, planning. The FBI's been called in, and that means they see something bigger at play. And then there are the unanswered questions, right? A flip phone? Come on. A disconnected signal, a search growing colder by the day. I mean, what really happened the moment Stephanie stepped into those woods? And more importantly, who was the last person to truly see her alive? A small town keeps its secrets, but we intend to uncover them because somewhere out there, Stephanie Damrell is waiting to be found. Did you know that more than 600,000 people go missing in the United States each year, and of those, nearly 90,000 are active missing persons cases at any given time? The overwhelming majority are found, thank goodness, but some, like Stephanie, simply vanish. And the ones who don't return, often it's someone close to them, family, a trusted adult, or something, someone they never even saw coming. Thanks for listening. If you liked what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. It helps me grow. Meanwhile, stay vigilant, stay safe, and remember, the truth is always closer than you think.